Hey guys, it's another Friday video. Welcome back here to the Team Act Fitness Workshop. Before we get started, don't forget to hit subscribe. You can ring the bell for notifications of new videos, but new videos do go up every Friday around 11:30 in the morning. I've got a few questions from people wondering what kind of stuff to do over the winter. Now, to me, you should be training all year round anyway. Some people might be only getting into it this winter, and for various reasons. Maybe it's just the time of year that they decided maybe to go into a gym or join a gym. Coming into the winter, the dark nights outside, want to do something. It might be coming towards the end of the football season, people are getting back in the gym. But for me, the gym and strength and conditioning as a whole, it should be, especially for sports reasons, should be for the whole year round. But if not, people have messaged me wondering what kind of program would they do, what kind of exercise to put together. And I did talk a few weeks ago on a different video about the sets and rep ranges and different exercises and how to put them together. But this evening what I said I'll do is actually put up maybe a 3-day a split of exercises that work really well for me and exercises I like doing. It's also sessions that I've done with clients as well over time. So the way I have it done at the moment is a Monday, Wednesday, Saturday is 3 days that I train myself, and this is close to it. Some things do chop and change, some things substitute in and out, and also some of the rep ranges and sets do change as well, depending on the exercise, depending on the day, depending on the time as well. But most importantly is probably getting consistent as well throughout all the days that you're doing it, so that at least you're following a certain program and you can see the weight going up. Probably the compound movements are the ones that I like to be in the whole time, which is your benching, your squatting, your deadlifting, things like that, and progressive overload, adding a little bit of weight on every week. I have a couple of goals myself in relation to Christmas time and the weight for those, so we'll be doing a 1 rep max video closer to Christmas time to see do I hit the goals. But for the moment, working up to that is the way I work it now. So this will be my Monday block, Wednesday block, and Saturday morning. They're just the 3 days I picked. Like that, if you're going to gym more often than that, that's fine. But just be careful. You need your rest, recovery, things like that. Don't be overworking some muscles. Now you might see as we go down through it that I have a good bit of shoulders in nearly every day. But that was a particular goal of mine, to try and work on my shoulders and build them up. So if you have any kind of weak spots, you probably put them maybe in every session then. And then with that, these are some of the exercises I quite enjoy doing as well, so that's why I have them in. And along with that, I'm trying to train everything at least twice a week then, and I've got some unilateral, bilateral exercises in there as well, which is important. So say on a Monday I do my bench deadlift. At the moment I'm doing my bench and deadlift on a 5x5, 5 sets of 5 reps. I'm going quite heavy on them, and usually I do them back to back, so I'd square them away first, have them 2 done first. Then these 3 I would do in a circle format then as well, which is dumbbell press, split squats and 1 arm row. Very important to get a one-legged exercise in there. On Wednesday then, it's squat and overhead press. Once again, they're my 2 big ones. So that's 5x5 and they're back to back. Then these 3 are put in together. One leg deadlift, once again, it's the opposite to maybe the split squat, so you have a one-legged variation in there for posterior and anterior chain. Then back row and overhead pull for your lats as well, so I have 2 lat exercises in, so we've worked the shoulders twice there already, and we've worked the lats twice. Then on the Saturday, incline bench, which would be my second bench. Really, don't feel too much about working bench too much like that. One of my current goal will be about the shoulders, getting that strength up, and so that's why I have shoulders in every day, but I don't actually have a chest exercise in every day. Walking lunges, pull-ups, back row, they chop and change as well. And now usually these 2 would still be a 5x5, even though it's on the dumbbells and it's on a Wednesday. I do the walking lunges of 5x5 too, back row and a straight leg deadlift. I'd go heavy on the back row here, this might be lighter, and might do a penalty row here or pull-ups, weighted pull-ups maybe. And the back row here, you can change your grip, underhand, overhand. Sometimes that even changes maybe to a dumbbell row, things like that. So this would be the time I have. I don't have too much time to maybe do more than 5 exercises in one night, where when you do 5x5 with the break in between sets, it does take a little bit longer, so that takes quite a good chunk of time. That could take maybe a half an hour, I think, is the timing for that. doing them back to back, and then do these maybe in the circuit format, so they're a little bit lighter. Sometimes they'll be 4x8, 4x8. Saturday morning a little bit more time, so I can afford myself now to do them all 5x5s. Sometimes I still do it in the circuit format. Like I said, it depends on time. Like, don't be afraid to change it up. It's more important kind of to get it in, regardless of how long it takes. You know, if it's a short session, you can do everything 5x5. If you want, take things down to 3x8, 3x10s maybe. It might be a little bit quicker, lighter weights. You can chop and change the weights. But, you know, if you're doing that, you want to make sure it reflects whatever goal you have. Obviously, if your goal is to get stronger, you need to have consistent weight, consistent progression over the weeks. Mostly time maybe on the compound exercise is easier to kind of quantify then as well when you're putting up the weight. If you have more time in the gym, if you have maybe over an hour and 90 minutes, you can join these up. You can do maybe a 2-day and put those exercises in. So some of them kind of are more related to sport. Obviously, if you're doing bodybuilding, if you're not involved in sport, you could be going to gym 5 or 6 times a week. This would not really be for you. Some of these exercises, even if you're a beginner, if you haven't done the gym before, you want to be careful of the exercise you pick too, and not to overdo it. Say split squats might be a little bit harder for you to do. You'd have to learn them. It takes a little bit of stability on them. Then deadlift, I do hex deadlift most of the time here. Some places don't have a hex bar, so you'd have to do straight leg deadlifts. But it'd be important to obviously learn all your technique first, especially if you're a beginner. If you know all these exercises already and are proficient in the lifts, you can go ahead maybe do the 3 days. If you're more advanced, like I said, you'd probably be going a different split, what we talked about in the other video, of breaking up like a push, pull, legs, rest, push, pull, legs, kind of going that way. But for me, I do kind of a cardio Tuesdays and Fridays, and Wednesday is a rest day, Sunday's a rest day, and then these are my 3 weight days at the moment. So these will be more kind of reflective maybe to sport base as well. Some good exercise like that, the one-legged stuff is in there. And as winter comes to a close and you're heading for January, there'll be more power exercises, explosive exercises, substituting in some of them. When you go back training, if you go back training in January, for whatever is GA, soccer, whatever kind of sport you're into, whatever you do, then some of these, the intensity might drop a little bit, the volume might drop a little bit. You might be able to group them two together. And then if, like I have with the shoulders, I have shoulders in every day. If you're a little bit weaker, maybe you could want to put hip thrusts in there, work a little bit more legs maybe, if that's a goal, if they're your weak spot. So basically whatever is your weak spot, you can double up and add them in. But really kind of for improvement, you'd want to be hitting a muscle group twice a week anyway. Some of them now I'm hitting maybe 3 times. And like I said, it depends whether you're going for strength, if you're just going to improve yourself, if you're just going kind of for your body shape instead. You could be doing 4/8s, you could do them all in circuit format. You know, these are all the kind of options. But if you're looking for one maybe that someone's just going to hand your program and say do that, well, I guess this is a good place to start in a 3-day kind of split like that. Some of these exercises now I haven't done videos on yet. The back row I've done, and the squat, deadlift, overhead press, which would be the main exercises. Some of these maybe accessory lifts, you know, I haven't done yet. I have done the straight leg deadlifts with the landmine as well. Now you might notice I've no arms in there. They're kind of an accessory thing. Sometimes I throw them in. I do the same with kind of core work. They'll be added in, you know, if I've time, because to me, the way I go, my time available, they'd be less important to me at the moment. Now, of course, if you know having a stronger core or something that you want to do, of course, add them in. If the arms are something that you want to go, you can add them in. Is there anything you could take out to substitute them in? To me, no. The arms and core will be your extras at the bottom. So when you're finished that through the main block, you'd add in your arms, say, at the end of the session, whether it be biceps, triceps. You could do a superset between the two of them, something like that. Add in your core then, wherever you like, if you favour core exercise, stuff like that. I haven't done any videos on core yet, but I will for some exercises as well. So that would be the 3-day block. The way I train now at the moment, like I said, some exercises are 5x5, some are 4x8, and that's just the way I'm going. Some of them have is geared towards my goals for coming up to Christmas with my own rep max for my squat, my deadlift, and my bench press. So I'm trying to improve them, and that's why it's kind of 5 by 5 there, because it's just better, easier to add on a few kilos every week. Strength training would be that. Now, I know you could go down 3 by 3, but I like something in the middle, 5 by 5. It improves the strength, and it's challenging as well. 3 by 3 wouldn't be something I'd be doing at the moment. I have done on other occasions, but like that, there are all different rep ranges, sets, and once you're lifting weights and you've got a nice progression over the weeks, and every session you're getting better, that's the main thing. Whether you're doing 4/8s or you're doing 5/5s, lifting a certain weight is lifting the weight. You will get stronger, you will get better in the gym, and of course it's about practice and consistency as well. Consistency over the weeks, not just the particular days. Like I said, I did this Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Sometimes I switch them up depending on your lifestyle and things that happen then as well, that you just have to change days, which is fine. But most importantly, it's about getting your sessions in every week. So that's the video for today. I just said I'd run through that. Like that, you can take that straight from me and you can start doing it. If you're proficient in all the exercises, and make sure your technique is good. That's very important, because you can have the best program in the world, but if your intensity, your volume, and your technique most important, isn't right, well then you're not going to get what you want out of the time that you're putting into this. So if you're going to go to the gym and you're going to do a good program, you're going to give your time towards it, make sure you're getting the most out of it and be efficient with your lifting as well, and technique is most important, as I said already. So that's the video done for today. That's another Friday video done. As I said, coming up towards Christmas, I will have a 1 rep max test, my own testing day, just to see do I hit the targets I set myself. Might talk about that in another video as well. So until next week, Friday, thanks for watching.